Okay, now we're live. Woo! We did it. It's happening. Finally did it. Oh god, I hear my own voice. There we go. Okay, everything's good. We're fine. We're all fine here. How are you? But yes, stream's live. We're doing fun stuff. I'm just basically chilling today. Probably knock out the last of the event and stuff. And then we'll be good. I think. Perhaps, maybe, possibly. Who knows? We'll see.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world.
Thank you. Beautiful. I think I've almost posted this everywhere where I need to.
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful.
There we go.
Oh, but alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
Ah, nice and relaxing. So let's go back to Inkanemia. Well, Inkanemia, but not. And there's stuff over there I still haven't done. What? Alright, let's see if we can get this to level 15 and then do the side quest while we're here. So hopefully everyone is having a lovely day. I had a little bit of a delay, otherwise I would have started a little sooner. Sweet. Okay. I think this is good.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing
Just
about their
checking to
own
make sure that
world.
everything is set fine. And it is.
Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading.
There we go. There's a chest down below me somewhere. But where exactly is it? Oh, I gotta equip the box. Oops. I forgot to re-equip the box. How could I? Okay, I can't see where it's at here, so we'll just go back. I should probably do that actually, just teleport to the thing. Save me some time. See if I can find the quest here for... There we go. This is the one I should be looking for. I'll do this one while I'm here. Bum, 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 da, da, da.
Emerge. Right now. Nice and spicy.
Just go through and clear all these guys out.
Opening box of Adepti tricks. Click. Right here. Right now. Emerge. Nothing lasts forever. Rise.
He's dead. He's super dead.
Right now. Right here. Wheel of life.
Oh god. Yeah. There's the 20,000. straight up obliterating everything. Just how absurd that is. Chi-Chi. Oh, it's down below, isn't it? So, how is it that I got in here before?
Faster? Okay, faster.
I hear it in there. So I need to remember how to get in there. Yeah, to anyone that's hanging out right now, I appreciate you being here, and I hope you're having a good day. I just need to figure out how to get back in there. Because I know there's a way in here. And I can't for the life of me find it right now. Oh, there was a lever there.
Faster? Okay,
So
faster.
how did I get in there the first time? This is something I need to figure out. Down here? Did I get into there from over here? Doesn't look like it. I'm kind of stumped here, honestly. Huh. Let me go to the other one real quick and then I'll come back. It's like, I feel like there's definitely a way to get in there, but I can't for the life of me think of where. hi.
emerge. Right now. Right here.
Oh, that's why. I'm really attentive when it comes to stuff like that. There we go. See, like... This one has... like a clear way in.
Faster? Okay, faster.
Hello, Miss Phil. And thank you for the alert. Let's see. So now I need to go to the other one. Let's see if I can... actually get into it this time. I am a tiny bit confused as to where to go to get this. So let's see, which quest is this again? Okay, let me see if I can find out where to get it. Oh, I think I know now. I might have to activate the puzzle again. That would explain why I wasn't able to get in. Oh. Right.
Boba, get them! You're toast!
Oh, that's not gonna work. Is that there? Okay, I think that should be good. maybe, hopefully. Oh, wait a second.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
I didn't see this one.
Now I got stomach cramps. Nice and spicy.
Okay, I see what I have to do here. And it's just gonna be a lot easier with Amber.
Leave it to me.
There we go. There we go.
Another target tracked down by Outrider Amber.
Okay, so I need to get it to here. Which means
Life goes on.
that needs to freeze. 'Cause it needs to reflect off that one. Okay, so the light's gonna go reflect off that. Oh, this one doesn't. Oh. So does this one rotate? Yeah, it does. Okay, let's try this. One, two, three. Got it. Easy.
Wasn't there something in here a second ago?
And that should be all I need here. Sweet. So now I just go finish the puzzle. And then we're good. Perfect. That just took a little bit more thinking. I never thought to actually, do the puzzles again. Yeah, I should probably put Xiangling back in my party. That would probably help.
Just sharpen my spear.
There we go. Passed right by it. Nice. Yeah, that boss will be interesting. Let's see, what do I need here?
Most humans could have the entirety of their fleeting lives chronicled in but a few short lines. Their stories really make for terribly dull reading.
That's not right. Hmm. Da-da-da-da. Actually, I need to move this over this way, possibly. Okay, that's where it should be. I think I might have to, hmm. Because this should be in the middle, actually, I think. Let's see what it's trying to do here. I think. I could be wrong
Personally,
here,
I
too.
think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
Yeah, this is what the slates are for. This one's kind of tough. Can I, like, reset? Okay, I can reset it. Alright, so he... Okay. So I think the idea here is to make, like, sort of a hole with these darker bits.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world.
Okay, so we got that one. there we go. Alright, let's see what's in here. Beautiful. Well done. There we go. Oh, hi!
Emerge, right here.
Booba, get them!
Wheel of life. Orders given. Orders received. I'm always watching.
Cut down like this.
Go on. Open it up. Show me what's inside.
Ooh. That took quite an unfortunate turn. This guy. Ooh. That was definitely worth it. So how much did I actually need to finish here? Oh, was that enough? Oh, that was enough. Hey, look at that. That is one completed event. The only thing I didn't do is finish maxing out the box. Because apparently I can't find the last I really didn't. I literally did like everything else. Let's see if I can find these. If not, it's no huge deal. Oh, it's this time challenge.
Don't tell me that's everything.
Well, that one was easy.
Emerge, right now. Oh. I must leave no... Opening box of Adepti tricks. Right here, right now. Emerge. Right now. Go.
Where's the fifth one? Oh, there's the fifth one.
Emerge. Nothing lasts forever. Right here, right now, right here.
But yeah. That's that's the event done. There's just the remaining chests and stuff. Yeah, now I can do the domain event. Actually, before I forget, what do I need? I could just go straight into it. Yeah, there we go. Oh.
Hey, do you know what? Neither do I.
So to Catherine. We're going to Catherine. So then we can play Mario Maker, I mean dungeon crawling.
One, two, breathe. 3, 4, and
Oh yeah, there is something else I can do right now actually. I could do 1 10-pole. Or 12 singular wishes. I have the ability. I could do this. Do we have the potential to get C1 Chi-Chi? Let's do it. Let's see. I would have laughed if I got Mona. That would have been really, really amusing. Oh. I did get my monthly fates. So I got the Favonius Codex. What does that even do again? Oh. Oh. I see. I see what it does now. Oh. Shh. We're just gonna go ahead and do these. Nice. I got plenty of bloodstains, at least. Yep. It just how it is. Good news is, though, that we have 37 plus the 7,000 primos for the next like banner that I pull on. I kind of want to, just because like her story quest kind of like really tugged on the heartstrings. Plus, I kind of liked playing as her, even though it was a ridiculously OP version of her. But it's
One,
kind of hard to
two,
say
3, 4,
because banners
2,
coming up as well
2,
are kind of tempting.
3, 4.
But I feel like I'm kind of obligated to pull for Raiden because I have Yai. I heard that they changed Ayato. Is he? Huh. Ooh. Ooh. Like, they keep tempting me with more and more things. I know in the near future I'll probably have to get another Welkin. Just to be on the safe side. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, that's kind of nuts. If it's snapshots, that is kind of nuts. Oh, the quest is all the way over here. I mean, I don't mind seeing the beta stuff.
Hey, do you know what? Neither do I. I already forgot.
Cause like if it's beta stuff, I'm more than happy to see it. Cause like I know at any moment they could be like, yeah, no, this isn't the final form, and just do like a 180 switch. Fair. They're like, as long as it's like gameplay stuff, I don't mind. Yeah, like as long as it's gameplay stuff, I have no problem seeing gameplay. Even like the character trailers and demos and stuff, I don't mind seeing. Yeah. Huh. Okay, let's take a look at this. Huh. Oh God. Huh. I see what you mean now. That is a wild burst.
One,
Yeah, I could imagine, like,
please,
combining the two.
4,
It seems like you could just stun lock a lot of things in that. Oh God. Yeah, that'd be terrifying. That that lineup could be crazy. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Just like the amount of stuff you could do with that. Well, he's not too far off, is he? Ooh. So yeah, that's not too far away at all then. it seems like I have quite a bit to look forward to in the near future. Ah, yes, there we go. It's time to do... what is essentially Mario Maker. Oh god. Uh... Huh. Oh, okay. Alright. That is interesting, and will take a lot of time to get used to actually doing. Ow. That's interesting. Ooh, I'll take a look at that one too. Oh. Oh. Oh my. Oh, it's time gated. Oh, no. Oh, it's time gated. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. There we go. Might as well do it without taking damage. Since they're time gated. Alright, so... So there's the first step. But really? 70 primos just for finishing each one? Okay. I mean, I'll take 70 primos for playing Mario Maker, but not. Collect 80, 80, 80, 50. Oh, okay. And then play a domain that another player has published. Design a domain and publish a domain. Well, that's not too bad, actually. High difficulty. There are rewards for playing other... There is a reward for playing other people's domains. So yeah, just basically play one domain that someone else has made and you get 70 primos. That's not bad, honestly. Two. So you get 2 lives. You've got to obtain 23. Skills are banned. Complete within 3 minutes 30 seconds. Small earth spikes, large earth spikes, and a fragile platform. Huh. Interesting. And you can find people's domains if you have the ID. So, essentially, this is in fact Mario Maker. Uh-oh. What did you find? Speedrun. Ah. Yeah, I've noticed sometimes with, like, when you plug in a controller sometimes to the PC ports, they don't necessarily recognize which controller you're using. And it kind of freaks out. Oops. Ow. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. Oh, God. Damn. Well, didn't get all those. Ow. That kinda hurt. That's not terrible. That is a funny, like, mistake, though, to see. But yeah, that's basically a free, like, 70 primos just for playing somebody else's domain. Nice.
Personally, I think the idea of things staying the same forever is quite beautiful. But alas, that is simply not the way the world works.
Stuck on a tree. Okay. Seriously? There we go. Easy. Problem solved. It's just gonna constantly tell me to make a domain now, isn't it? Yeah, Yes, I know. I can unlock more stories. I should probably finish that at some point. I have a lot of these. I should probably, like, clean up. Is that the one I'm thinking of? That is the one I'm thinking of, isn't it? Yeah, it is. While we're here... So if Huh. Okay. I knew there was a point to that being out there. Off we go. I know there's someone that will take me out there. I think. I like that even though the PC port is completely different, they still use the PlayStation stuff for it. Where's the guy that takes me out there? He's on the other pier, isn't he? Well, that's unfortunate. There we go. Oh, hey, chest.
Don't tell me that's everything.
Like, I know there's someone that takes you out to it, and I can't remember where he is. Ah, there he is, I think. Maybe. Possibly. Knew I'd find him. Just took a second.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world.
Oh? I didn't think I would see you here.
What was... Is... Okay? He just genuinely excited that we're here? He like, got up real quick. Like, Jesus.
Are these two your friends?
Yes. We had the fortune of meeting not too long ago. They are quite a knowledgeable and talented pair, and a pleasure to be around. Traveler, we were just discussing the history of Rex Lapis. Would you like to listen?
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, I'm inclined to correct some of his erroneous views. We are discussing the whereabouts of the first Mora.
The first Mora?
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that allowed them to develop trade with the early nations of that time. Today, Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire continent of Teyvat. The world's very first Mora should have been cast by the hands of the Lord of Geo himself thousands of years ago.
According to my research, as well as my own hypothesis, I believe that this coin of unique historical significance has been passed down secretly through the years as a kind of token. For example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown ceremony they hold when they come to power.
No. My research indicates that the first Mora coin is not such a simple thing. Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, Mora is used in the mystic arts for its curious properties of weapon enhancement. The world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. My next historical treatise will boldly expound on the newest findings from my intense decade-long research. That is, that the Lord of Geo used this original Mora as a catalyst to enhance a dagger and a sword.
A dagger and a sword?
What?
Well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now, I will only reveal this. The one who finds the dagger shall become supreme in Liyue, and the one who finds the sword may be crowned Liyue's sovereign.
I can't say I agree.
I can't either.
Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora and money came about simply because they are a convenient measure of a contract's value. Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst for people to exchange and trade. The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex Lapis. As for its fate, the same as all Mora, I suspect. It was simply spent somewhere.
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's argument, on the other hand, lacks any evidence. How can you so easily dismiss the Lord of Geo's profound foresight?
No, I am not debating right or wrong. I am simply stating a fact.
Enough. Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history, and I wouldn't dare to brag. But discussion is meaningless if everyone has the same opinion, no?
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of Geo taught the people how to build houses. The model home he used to teach them was completely cast from Mora, correct?
That is correct, indeed.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not because of the mystical power that Mora contains?
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth and commerce, what material is easier to get than Mora?
Oh.
I mean, I am talking about Rex Lapis.
We're just making this
Excuse
way
me, sir.
more awkward.
I have some questions about archaeology. Can we find somewhere quiet to chat? I mean, if it's okay with you.
Oh, it's no problem at all. But may my friend accompany us? Perhaps they could be of some help.
Of course. They can come if that's what pleases you, sir. Let's go.
That Geooculus is gonna bug me being up there. I'll get it eventually.
This is fine wine.
What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. So it's best to discuss this somewhere quiet. Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't fall for the boasting and acting of the others. You remain objective. So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that all the gods that the Geo Archon killed were evil?
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts. So any gods he killed certainly must have broken some kind of contract.
Right! The Lord of Geo wouldn't kill the innocent.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god, but she encountered Morax one day in battle. Morax used a rather underhanded trick to assassinate her.
What? No way!
This bit of history is a long story. But you may not like the truth when you hear it.
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
No, it's just... Where should I begin?
Over here, Mr. Zhongli. I've been looking for you. So you're over here all this time.
Put down your weapon and stay back. Otherwise, Paimon's reporting you to the Millilith.
First of all, I'm not holding a weapon. There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological researcher from Snezhnaya. I'm not here for trouble.
The Fatui say that every time.
But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I could show you the official documentation if you want to see it. I will be conducting an archaeological survey here, the results of which will all be shared with the ministry. I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhang Li, with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology. So I paid Wangsheng Funeral Parlor a handsome amount to hire Zhang Li as my own consultant while I'm in town.
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, yes? Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice. A consultant of the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor must respect their duty.
Of course you would be such a reasonable man. Well then, let's head out now, shall we?
Wait, if you are studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also a scholar in this field, so I can help.
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help to you on your future adventures. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful experience for your journey.
Huh.
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour group. That's too many people.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one. It will surely be of great help to us.
That's fair.
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will absolutely find a way to open it.
Hey, Hey, Paimon's good at that too!
Well, that is quite enticing. All right, then. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, perhaps something of interest was washed ashore. An ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity would be great. But a piece of the God's limb would be even better. Who knows what surprises we may find.
That is super shady. That guy is extremely shady. Of which I do not trust. That was an interesting little audio skip that I just heard.
Traveling to other worlds is all that anyone seems to be writing about these days. Goodness knows what they find so disappointing about their own world. Next part.
This place looks so ordinary. Can we really find anything valuable here?
Huh? Paimon thinks it looks really grand.
I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary. A big battle did just occur and all, and I don't even know where to begin looking here.
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be, if you wish to learn about the gods or the history of the Archon War. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing and crushing the Overlord of the Vortex. After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique rock formations we see now.
These mountains were the Lord of Geo's weapons?
What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis all those years ago were much greater, both in number and in size. But due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity, many of them have been completely swallowed by the sea. So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also played a big part in the formation of Guyan Stone Forest.
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly very strong in its own right.
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research at Guyan Stone Forest. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord of the Vortex have given those sunken objects a chance to see the light of day again.
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very, very rich. I mean, rich with archaeological knowledge and historical value, yes? That's all
Guy
I
isn't even
seek in life.
trying to not seem shady.
Well, since we brought so many people, I think it would be best to split up and look.
Okay then. I will go with my friend here. Although I have a smattering of knowledge in various disciplines, when it comes to archaeology, I can't compete with the expert here.
Huh? Me?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so surprised?
I get it. I'll escort him then.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare, let's meet on the shore opposite from here. The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Well, go ahead then. Use your elemental sight to look for any marks.
Rise.
There we go. Just do this. It'll be easy.
Emerge. Right now. Right here.
Bubba, get them!
Sacred name. Fortune preserver. Right now. Right here. Right now.
Nice and spicy! Why are there enemies here?
Guyan Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
Into the fire!
You just go ahead and smash the shield.
Right now. Emerge. Right now.
Nice and spicy!
Oh. That was unfortunate for them.
Bubba, get them!
Easy.
Go.
They're gathering together here. But why?
See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract them. The hydromimic monsters. I have a contract, and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them, and recover the relic.
Life goes on.
God.
Oh.
It's just a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
You call yourself a scholar of archaeology? You can't even recognize this or that. What are you good for?
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried very hard to explain.
Oh, stop arguing! What in the world happened?
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruins. I even know more than her. She left me to rely solely on guessing, experience, to find anything valuable to take back. Ugh, what a waste of time.
I've just been researching the God of Salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that so strange? And you kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth. Can the value of relics only be measured in Mora?
Isn't measuring their value in Mora the easiest way? This also matches the traditions of Liyue, does it not?
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. We were able to bring back some intriguing objects. Let's have a look. Oh. What a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the Vortex, but they have nothing to do with the god besides being in the vicinity at the time. The stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint aura of divine power. Perhaps it will be useful for research purposes.
Quick, give it to me.
Wow.
At least we didn't come for nothing. The power of the gods, yes! This is good. Oh, but these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right? It should be enough to cover the cost of hiring you. It's all mine.
So, it's only valuable for research if there are remnants of divine power on it?
Not at all. My quest to uncover the history of the God of Salt is because history can tell us about culture and beliefs. But you're just trying to use archaeology to get rich.
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear, if I'm lying, may the Lord of Geo strike me down.
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to sell that teacup.
Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess with the Qixing...
Ah, I see. What a shame. It was of such high quality, too.
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? Don't be so simple-minded.
Wow.
All right, then. No need to stay here any longer. I'm rather quite intrigued by the God of Salt, too, actually. Let's go to Sal Tarai next.
Well, this is interesting so far. But, like, can this dude act any more shady than he's already acting? 'Cause he's acting pretty shady. We'll be honest here. He's not even trying to hide it at this point, I don't think. I wanted to see if I could, like, kill them without actually attacking. And I'm satisfied with the result.
Right.
Emerge. Right here.
Yeah.
Emerge.
Eat this!
Life goes on. Sacred name, fortune preserver.
He's just dead.
Faster?
Just dead.
Okay, faster. Treasure chests. Do we like treasure chests? Wheel of life.
Ah, how convenient. There's a little, rowboat here.
I heard that Salterai was once the home of the god of Salt's people. Therefore, there's sure to be loads of valuable relics nearby.
According to legend, the people of the god of Salt, Havria, enjoyed prosperous lives under her protection. But this legend has been around for ages. With the countless scrap collectors and treasure hoarders in the area, there probably aren't many valuable things left here.
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before, I wouldn't have come.
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the god of Salt, which is actually how the area originally got its name of Salterai. However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious power. Nobody has been able to break the seal. I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but when I undid the mechanism, the seal wasn't affected at all. So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are very important topics in my research on the god of Salt. I don't know, there's no concrete evidence, but I'm pretty sure the seal is meant to hide some kind of long-forgotten truth. The god of Salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. She wouldn't have any kind of shameful secrets to hide. So, the one who wants to hide some truth is very possibly her killer, Morax.
This doesn't sound like something the Lord of Geo would do, though.
Who cares about all that? It sounds like countless treasures of the god of Salt lie within this ruin, just waiting for someone to find them, right?
You weren't listening at all, were you? Even if there's a mountain of treasures inside, nobody can get in if the seal isn't broken.
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us. He looks like he knows just about everything. A little seal shouldn't be any trouble for him.
This seal seems to be quite ancient. Even Mr. Zhongli may not know all of its secrets.
I may know something about it.
Of course you do.
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem rather disorderly, they do in fact contain the secret to breaking seals. Let's go take a look at the mechanism Miss Wanyan just mentioned.
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says so, follow me then.
Let's break it. Oops. A few more seconds.
Life goes on.
There we go. Yep, not gonna test that.
Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of Salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism... See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me lead the way from here.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying they're related to all this? When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. Otherwise, the seal will not be broken. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast, yet even one haven is hard to find.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard this saying before.
Certainly you have. And the contents of this saying are also related to the god of salt. To provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War, this benevolent god searched all across Liyue. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of peace was a luxury. And that haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is known as Sal Turai.
How sad then. In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morax.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal. Whatever happened doesn't matter as long as we can get inside that ruin.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. With this clue, you should be able to solve the puzzle.
Okay.
Right here. Emerge.
Clear these out first.
Right here. Right now. Nothing lasts forever.
Is that overkill? Absolutely. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Does this constitute as the south one?
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try.
I know, Zhongli. I know. Thank you. There we go.
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time.
None of this will go to waste.
Alright, so now we go back over there. And then once I do this, it'll probably be about time to wrap things up.
Right.
Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that we saw at Guyenstone Forest.
Okay. What is it?
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter, with only one object permitted per claim. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity like this up so easily!
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist? No, absolutely not.
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of salt. I can't accept this.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve as your consultant on this expedition. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin, as well as traps.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure in the long-sealed ruin of the God of Salt should be enough to make a fortune.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one request, Mr. Zhongli. If we discover the truth behind the God of Salt, you must judge it fairly, even if the truth harms Morax's image.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
I mean, he knows what's in there. Violet grass. Is there more, or is it just core lapis? This is core lapis. Ooh.
Ooh, pretty. Huh?
Recommended party level of 71. I think we'll be fine. Ah, sweet.
Are these statues?
No. These are people.
Ugh.
Oh god.
They were probably followers of the God of Salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin?
Yeah, no. This easily be fine. I don't think there's anything in here that will, Yeah, there's like nothing in here that will cause any issues. Aside from me killing myself, that is something that is more than likely to happen. It's just me jumping off of the map. That is, yeah. The only issue I'll have is just me myself.
Quake!
You know, it would probably help if I, you know, put the pillar in an advantageous position.
Rise! Crumble!
Because it wants to be like that and not let you climb. Oh dear God. That's kind of horrifying.
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
Oh, it just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking in treasures.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full. That is to say, it is bottomless.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside won't change?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful indeed.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I claim this as mine. I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune!
Hey! How can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a shallow pursuit?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan, according to the contract agreed upon.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare find?
Since we have a contract, it's no use for me to fight with him.
Then let's move on, shall we?
Infinite salt. Basically playing any PvP game.
Solidify!
Just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind of measuring tool.
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with another power. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a bumper harvest of salt.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless. Why would she get anything?
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need
Oh, I know
you.
where he's going with this.
Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I let you make the rules?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, "Ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock."
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya. I
will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant.
Yes. Yes.
Pay your dues. Gather.
Right here. Emerge.
Boba, get them!
Wheel of life.
This is order.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well.
Okay. Alright. How long was that? Is that like 3 seconds? Maybe?
You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin. Leave this place.
Oh, darn you! Just
Beautiful.
you wait.
Some archaeological survey. He could only pretend for so long. Hey, Paimon likes Mora, but Paimon doesn't do bad things.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that may tempt us to break contracts. When people see the object of their dreams, how many are really able to control their desire and follow the contract? I think we should be honest with each other now.
Huh? Be honest about what?
Is he actually
That
gonna
in
tell her?
truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition came here for archaeology.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes to anything regarding the god of salt. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at Yinyuan Hall.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to seek you out once I plucked up my courage. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of the Chising, Yinyuan Hall of the salt industry. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it, the people of Liyue very seldom use the name Morax.
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. And its history is written as he wishes. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart.
Oh wow, she...
We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history fairly.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no longer Morax's Liyue. Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
I also saw a chest in that cutscene. So, oh, it's outside and I can't get to it. Can I get to it now? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Quake! Crumble!
Almost got it with one.
Rise! I will have order. Quake! Rise! Crumble! This is order.
Just let me throw a bunch of...
Quake!
Just let me just drop meteors everywhere, you know?
Crumble! Rise! I will have order.
Is it unnecessary? A little bit. But it's kind of fun. Oh.
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the God of Salt had to fight back. Fight back against the evil Morax. But sadly, she was defeated. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the God of Salt.
It does look like something left behind after being defeated in battle.
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim one.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clement is no longer here.
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true. You cannot take 2 relics at the same time.
This logic!
Zhongli, she seems like a good person, and no one is fighting over the treasure. How about you let this one slide, huh?
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed, then it is broken.
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the God of Salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract.
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock.
That's okay. The God of Salt gave up her life to protect her people. My sacrifice is nothing compared to that. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But As punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh?
Oh.
The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for breaking the contract. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among the seven.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained.
No. No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade? Then... this sword...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt!
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to trick me!
Hey! Hey! Come back!
Indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? I did not want to tell her such cruel facts. But the contract was broken. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no choice but to face the truth.
Oh. That hurt. But, alas, I must head off for now, because I have food.
Every
I may or
journey
may
has
not
its final day.
stream more
Don't rush.
when I get back, but we'll see. Anyways, I appreciate you all for stopping by and hanging out while I played a bit of Genshin, and I'll see you again next time.